Okay, this thing is pretty good. I have been testing out the Huion Kamvas 22 Gen 3. Huion has their Pro line, which is like every feature that they can think of kind of shoved into one product. And then there's more modest budget line. This is one of those budget tablets. And it's a nice little upgrade over the last generation 22-inch display. That one was only 1080p. This one is 1440, which is such a nice improvement to the screen. I really like Huion's budget line right now. I tested out their Gen 3 13-inch and their Gen 3 16-inch tablets last year. I absolutely loved those. They're ranked pretty high on my website where I collect all these reviews. And it's kind of crazy because this tablet would have been a pro level tablet just 3 years ago. And I feel like I could use this full time and I don't feel like I'm giving that much up, you know what I mean? Although I do miss the touch gestures. A lot of new tablets, the Pro tablets, have touch gestures. This does not. But overall, I got along fine without it. So let's knock on this box. What is inside of it? First of all, we have a color registration form that tells you how the screen performed. We also have a quick start guide, which is going to tell you how to hook it up to your computer or laptop. And then underneath all of that, we have the tablet itself. It's a big boy. It's pretty heavy. Well, on the back, this already comes with a stand. It's attached. You can like set it up at a whole bunch of different angles. It's really handy. Got this little latch that lets you move it up and down. Now, even though I do like the stand, the one downside here is that when it's fully out, it takes up a lot of space on your desk. Some stands take up less, so that's something to take into account if you have a really narrow desk. Along the back of the tablet, there's also this tray you pop off. Underneath that is how you reach all your ports. When you're done, I just left mine off while I was using it, but you can pop this thing back on. There's also some screw holes, so if you're worried about it falling off, you can really attach that pretty well. That wasn't a problem for me. I felt like just kind of clicking it into place was fine. It didn't seem to be going anywhere. Then we have the pen. It is a nicely weighted Huion stylus. A lot of the Pro versions come with 2 different pens and some different options. This is pretty unflashy, but the pen itself that it comes with, very, very good. There's also a little pen holder. It's got some extra nibs stowed away on the inside, and along the bottom there's a little hole so you can pop your pen into the bottom of that, and it'll help you remove your nibs. Also in the box are all the cords you're going to need to plug this thing into your computer. There's a power adapter and the cord for that. Now, I was able to plug this into my PC just using a USB Type-C cable, but if you need to use HDMI along with the USB cable, it has those cables in the box here for you too. So no matter which direction you need to go in, they've got you covered. Oh yeah, also they have a cleaning cloth, and look at this, it's a drawing glove. Now let's start by talking about the screen. I think the screen looks okay. It's not bad. It's good enough. It doesn't get super bright. The colors aren't like insanely amazing, but they are accurate. It does look good. It looks fairly modern because this is a laminated display. There's no space between the glass and the screen itself. They also got a nano-etched glass coated blah, blah, blah. What they mean is it's a matte screen coating on this thing. After using it for a few days, I don't see any kind of wear or tear or scratches appearing on it after drawing. That's pretty good. The texture on it, fairly smooth, but it does give you a little bit of drawing resistance like I would expect on something like this. I like drawing on. This is a 21.5-inch screen. It's also 2.5K, like I mentioned before. That's 2,560 pixels by 1,440 pixels. That update is my favorite part of this particular product. The last version was a 1080p screen. And when you take something at that resolution and you blow it up to like 22 inches, you can see the pixels. Things look a little bit blurry. Just by bumping this up to 1440p, it makes it look so much crisper, and it makes it look so much nicer. Another addition that they've added to this display that I didn't really expect is that they've bumped it up to 90 hertz, which is really cool. The previous models were only 60 hertz. I don't perceive any less brush lag or any of that sort of thing while I'm drawing on it, but it's nice to have. It's pretty heavy. Actually, it's not as heavy as I thought it was going to be doing that. I find that the heavier a tablet is, the less likely I am to kind of move it around my desk and change things around too much. I think that's also because of the size. If you have a 13-inch or a 16-inch tablet, it's easier to move it out of the way and that sort of thing. This guy takes up a lot of space on my desk. But I think if you're looking for that, if you're looking for a drawing tablet like this that becomes the centerpiece of your art setup, it's a pretty good option. Now, I mentioned before, it's color calibrated right out of the box. I thought this looked pretty good, and I didn't feel like it needed any tweaking on my end to get the colors to look all right. This is a cool feature, and the first thing I noticed when I was setting it up, but it's got this cool color RGB bar along the back, and you can't really see it during the day. I think the more I used it, the more I forgot it was kind of there. I think if you have a low light setup going on in your office or your drawing space, you're going to definitely notice it a heck of a lot more. We've seen little RGB touches before on tablets, but mostly those were to do things like illuminate the buttons or to show you what program you were using, or maybe they use it on the shortcut remote, that sort of thing. This is the first I can remember of a light just being purely aesthetic. But as long as it doesn't bump up the price too much, I'm okay with that. All right, let's take a look at this pen. It's a great pen. It's the kind of pen you'd want to use if you were taking my Intro to Digital Art course or my Learn to Draw in 60 Days course, which is really geared towards beginners who are just getting started in art. Maybe you've taken other courses before and thought, man, this is over my head. What am I missing here? My course is designed to fill in some of those blanks so that you can tackle harder courses later on. Check out my website, Brad's Art School, to learn more and get some discount codes down below in the description. Now, like I mentioned before, this only comes with one pen, but the pen that it comes with is really good. This is Huion's 4.0 pen technology, which is the same technology that they're using in all their tablets across the board. When I am looking at a tablet like this, there's really two things that I consider. The first thing that I look at is the screen. Is it good enough? The second thing that I'm looking at is the pen. And this pen is fantastic. This is Huion's best pen, and I love that they're putting their best pen in with some of their lower priced products. That makes this tablet in general a really good value. It also means that you don't have to choose between quality and price when it comes to the most important part of a drawing tablet, the drawing experience itself. Taking this tablet through its paces, I got some really good line quality. Pen pressure holds up well. It doesn't do anything goofy around curves. It doesn't really blow out anywhere. Getting the lines to line up while I'm drawing were perfect. Slow angled lines, which is usually the place where you see a little bit of line wobble on these sort of things, was very, very good here. If you go looking for a little bit of line wobble, you will find a little bit of line wobble, but I didn't think it was much. It's very easy to get rid of, and it doesn't actually appear in my artwork while I'm drawing. That is the most important thing. The one thing that you're probably going to notice in this video that a lot of people point out all the time is just the lag when I'm drawing. You will see pen lag on this thing. I don't think that's a really an effect of the device itself. It's really just what happens when you draw on a Windows or a Mac computer. It's laggy. If you don't want any lag at all, get an iPad. Well, iPads have a little bit of lag. If you want the least amount of lag possible, get an iPad. But yeah, I really like this pen. This display, like all of Huion's displays that have come out in recent years, also works on an Android phone or an Android tablet. Should you use it on an Android phone or an Android tablet? I would say no. I personally don't like the experience. I think it's a nice touch. For example, if you're primarily going to use this with a Windows machine or a Mac, you're in really good shape. It works great. But if you're occasionally going to want to plug it into your phone or something like that, okay, it's a bonus feature. But if you're primarily using an Android tablet or a phone and you're thinking, hey, I'm going to plug this into that and that's going to be my primary drawing device, you're probably going to be disappointed. It's not really the device's fault. It's really just kind of the ecosystem. Android phones, Android tablets, the drawing apps that are available for those rely on touch. And this is not a touch screen. And you can set those up to like use your phone as a touch screen. So if you need to pinch and zoom and move around and that sort of thing, you do it on your phone. And then you come over here with the pen and you draw on the tablet and you kind of go back and forth. I personally find that really clunky. I don't enjoy that drawing experience. Since Android apps are really designed from the ground up with touch, trying to have these kind of workarounds just isn't fun to use. That's just my opinion. Some people get by with it, but I don't know anybody who truly loves it. Overall, this is a really good device. Like I said, I've enjoyed Huion's budget products lately because these budget products would have been their pro level products just a few years ago. That 1440p display, fantastic upgrade, especially on a larger 22-inch screen. The fact that they're packing in that nice Pentec 4 pen that they pack in with their pro level devices, that is really nice too. When we look at the competitors, XP Pen, they're doing very similar things. Their pens are a little bit different between their pro and their non-pro, but they're close enough that it's still a really good drawing experience. Wacom, They've got different lines. I think their top of the line's really good. Their medium line Cintiqs are pretty good. If you look at the Wacom One products, you're really compromising on some things. And those Wacom One products tend to be more in line with Huion's budget products. And I think here is where Huion and XP Pen really excel. And that's really where this tablet lives. Good size, good screen, good budget, good pen. I can see where people would want a screen that goes brighter, maybe where the colors get punchier. I can see where they'd want like a 4K resolution. I could see where people would want touch. But if you're really on a budget, you're not giving up as much as you think you are. What do you think? Let me know down below in the comments. Thank you all for watching, and I'll talk to you in a couple of days.